You're listening to an AI audio recording generated to make our content easier to consume, whenever and wherever works best for you. Now, let's dive in to discuss TechCXO's blog article, Building a Scalable Finance Team Structure for Growth and Exit. Every growth stage company eventually hits a ceiling where passion, hustle, and sheer momentum are no longer enough to mask operational blind spots. The symptoms of this phase are usually glaring. Leadership dashboards lack real time insights. Cash flow realities do not mirror the upward trajectory of top line revenue. And a general sense of unease replaces operational confidence. These friction points are clear indicators that the organization has fundamentally outgrown its historical financial processes. Relying on the exact same bookkeeping methods and personnel that supported the early days is a recipe for stalled growth, particularly when leadership is eyeing external capital or preparing for a lucrative exit. Simply upgrading your accounting software or adding a few junior headcounts merely treats the surface symptoms. To truly scale, leadership must completely rethink their finance team structure. Through the proven transaction processing and controls, reporting, analysis, planning, and strategy TRAPS framework, fractional CFOs help executive teams transition from reactive accounting to building a resilient, forward looking financial engine designed specifically for the rigorous road ahead. Developed through decades of hands on operating experience by tech CXO CFOs, the TRAPS framework operates much like a pyramid, with foundational transaction processing at the wide base and high level strategy at the very top. Each distinct layer relies entirely on the stability of the one directly below it. If one layer is weak, the rest of the layers above it are immediately destabilized. When this finance team structure is working optimally, it creates the visibility, clarity, and focus that allow everyone across the company to do their jobs better. The CEO gains sound, reliable insights into corporate strategy. Department heads receive the precise data they need to manage their respective teams, and the board of directors gains supreme confidence that their financial investment is being stewarded responsibly. To achieve this state of operational excellence, each layer of the pyramid must be built correctly from the ground up. Transaction processing and controls. This forms the bedrock base of the pyramid. This essential layer ensures that all financial data is recorded accurately from the very start. If transactions are recorded incorrectly here, everything built on top of them falls apart. Implementing reliable systems and strong, repeatable processes is the key to creating information the entire company can trust. Reporting. Good, actionable analysis must always start with good reporting. Executive leaders need the right financial and operating metrics delivered on time and in a format they can easily understand. Reports must be perfectly accurate and reliable, otherwise, executives end up wasting valuable time debating the validity of the data instead of making critical business decisions. Analysis. True leadership learns by seeing exactly what works, what does not, and where immediate changes are needed. Existing plans and processes must be continuously analyzed against business reality. Without this critical feedback layer, companies remain completely unable to make smart, real-time corrections. Planning. Even the most brilliant strategy will ultimately be unsuccessful unless it is actively turned into clear, executable plans backed by strict accountability. Once a broader strategy is set, it must guide the financial model and the budget, clearly defining corporate goals and dictating exactly how resources are utilized. Strategy. Strategy sits at the very apex of the pyramid. This is the space where the CFO transcends traditional accounting to become a true strategic partner for the CEO. It starts with deeply knowing what the company sells, exactly what customers buy, and precisely why they choose it. Once answered, leaders can organize the entire business to deliver maximum value. The framework only succeeds, however, if every single person on the finance team understands how their specific role fits into the bigger picture. What makes Traps so uniquely powerful is the way it connects every individual to the company's ultimate success. Consider the accounts payable clerk. Under a proper finance team structure, they can clearly see that their daily work forms the foundation for absolutely everything else. If they mistakenly code an invoice to the wrong account, that single error flows upward through reporting, heavily distorts the executive analysis, and ultimately leads the C-suite to make misinformed strategic decisions. Conversely, the financial planning and analysis (FP&A) director plays an equally critical role at the top of the pyramid. If their deep analysis reveals that a flagship product line is actually losing money, that revelation alters the entire trajectory of the company's strategy. When people understand how their daily work connects to the layers above it, they take far more responsibility for doing it right the first time. Once the right team is in place, the CFO's day-to-day role within the model should evolve organically. In a fully mature company, the CFO spends the vast majority of their time at the top of the pyramid, working directly with the CEO on high-level strategy and organizational planning. But reaching this elevated point takes time. When a CFO first joins a growing company, they almost always find that the underlying financial infrastructure needs serious work. In those critical early months, a CFO spends heavily on the base layers, tidying up the chart of accounts, implementing robust controls, and crafting baseline reports that the leadership team can actually trust. As the foundation stabilizes, their attention naturally turns upward, adding highly strategic value at the top. This vital progression is exactly what sets a strategic CFO apart from a standard controller. Controllers are undeniably important to the business, but they focus solely on the lower foundational layers of the pyramid. A strategic CFO adds the absolute most value at the top, setting corporate direction, building comprehensive plans, and analyzing results to keep driving continuous improvement. Ultimately, upgrading your financial operations is not merely an administrative exercise. We consider it to be a vital strategic imperative for any leader focused on scaling. When you transition your finance department from a historical reporting function into a forward-looking advisory body, you unlock the true potential of your organization. By ensuring absolute data integrity at the base, you empower high-level strategic decision-making at the top. This operational excellence gives founders and executives the peace of mind they need to focus on market expansion, knowing their internal systems are fully optimized. Whether the ultimate goal is securing growth capital, navigating market fluctuations, or executing a highly profitable exit, a scalable, well-structured finance function is the essential engine that will reliably drive your company across the finish line.